People who made an impulse decision when they found out Hawaii was going to be nuked, what did you do and do you regret it? My 70-year-old dad ate 2 loaves of bread while hiding in his closet. He said he only regrets it because he has to buy more bread now. We made lots of jokes at work last night that a lot for children will probably be born in 9 months. Baby boomers lol. I think the good answers will be in a few years, when the ones who actually made life-altering decisions will leave their bunkers. Blast from the past to Maui Wowie. This didn't happen to me, but my friend, who is currently visiting his grandfather on the Big Island, told me that right after he received the first alert to seek immediate shelter, he went down a couple homes to where the Clintons were staying to ask the Secret Service guys what was going on. Apparently, they were all in gas masks and ready to go. My friend, before receiving the false alarm alert, said he made a mimosa, said goodbye to his family, and planned to go sit on the beach to watch, as he described it, the fireworks. Edit, Grammar Edit 2, thank you for the gold, stranger. I'll let my friend know the love he's getting for his story. All I regret is filling my emergency water containers right behind the car. So now I'm blocked in the garage by 150 gallons of water. I got drunk for the first time in 4 years of sobriety. Oops. Can't even fault you for this. If you're a recovering alcoholic though, maybe talk to your sponsor, if you have one, or a counselor. There's no reason for this dumb shit to ruin 4 years of hard work. I'm proud of you. Edit, I've seen tons of people that are embarrassed of their top comments. I don't think I could have picked a better one for mine. Thank you anonymous Redditor for the gold. I was at work here on Maui. My wife was at home with the kids and I called them to calm them down. Once I realized they were all together, I went to the 3rd floor of a building with some co-workers and waited for the big bang or whatever was to come. I told my big Samoan boss that we should just hug, this way they would find us frozen in time like the folks they found in Pompeii after Mount Vesuvius. Things were a little awkward the rest of the day. I ate all the leftover lasagna in my fridge. I figured that if shit's about to hit the fan, I better carb TF up. BTW, living on Big Island. Saw this yesterday. Likely bullshit but funny nonetheless. Hawaii resident here. While I didn't make the impulse decision, the people around me did. I was sleeping when the announcement came out, and the others in my house didn't decide to wake me up. They said if I was gonna die, might as well let me die in my sleep. Edit, we all became tired of the news after 2 hours. Just became annoying. Late to respond here, but I'll throw mine in. I work at a huge tourist location on Oahu. Pretty quickly after the alert went out, we started herding all of our guests into large buses and moving them to a huge World War II bunker we have on property. In the middle of directing guests on where to go, I realized I hadn't clocked in yet, and decided that if I was going to die in a thermonuclear detonation, I might as well be getting paid for it. I clocked in, then hopped a small bus with a few of my friends/workmates and headed toward the bunker. Once we got there, we decided that we really didn't want to die in concrete caves surrounded by people we really didn't like, so we just kept driving to the other side of the property and hung out in the back of a big ass valley for a few hours. So, I guess the impulsive thing I did was purposely avoid shelter and instead go somewhere beautiful. Quick! Head to the bunker. Dave is in there. He's an a-hole. Okay, let's go to an open valley and die instead. I woke up to people calling me about the alert, looked at my phone and read the message. I started searching the internet for answers, and there was zero coverage, which made me even more scared because I thought it was some kind of government conspiracy to not let the rest of the world know what was happening. I go to the Hawaii subreddit and everyone is saying they got the alert, but no info on whether the threat is real. Thinking about my life, I started to feel content with my inevitable death. Then I imagined my last moments slowly burning in intense pain. That thought was followed by a minor anxiety attack and involuntary shaking for the next 30 minutes. I made an impulse decision to stay in bed with my wife. Nowhere to go for safety, no time to get there anyway. Might as well be comfortable in my bed with someone I love. I was in a hostel and I'm a male, and all of the other people in the hostel room I was in were women the same age as me. We all got the text at once and looked at each other. I knew what I had to do: awkwardly comfort them with jokes while they cried. Not very romantic. Edit, thanks for my first gold, kind stranger. I'm glad this post and my comment are still being read. I'm stationed in Hawaii. Woke up to the message, audibly said frick. I grabbed my med bag and got out of my room to see if anyone on duty knew what was going on. Saw everyone on barracks duty was knocking on the doors and directing people to the battalion aid station, which is one of the designated bomb shelters. I knew the doors were locked and I was the only one who knew the code who was there, so I unlocked them and opened it for everyone to get inside. Once inside, more and more people came in. Compared to the rest of the island, it was pretty calm. Civilians and people from other units were just sitting on the floor chatting. I called up my mom and sister and told them what was happening, and if anything happens to know that I signed up for this and that I love them. As I walked through trying to prep everything for the impending missile, I accepted I was probably going to die, but I would make an effort to survive. Eventually somebody came by and told us it was a false alarm. Then I went kayaking. No regrets. Imagine if there was an actual emergency in Hawaii in the near future. Public trust has got to be at a minimum. I don't think so. People know these things are serious. The odds of 2 frick-ups related to an emergency broadcast system are low. Plus they'd probably add this is not a mistake broadcast. My dad lives in Molokai, pop of 8,000 or so. I called him when I heard about it, asked him about it. He said 1. He didn't think it was real anyway. 2. A nuke from NK would be small and aimed at one of the population centers, Oahu, Maui, Big Island, and would not kill him. And 3. If 1 and 2 were wrong, he couldn't do much to stop it. He just had breakfast on the lanai like usual. Edit, for all you mainlanders, a lanai is a deck and lanai is another island. Personally, I slept through it. I woke up to the second lol NVM alert. Though my dad was down at the beach taking pictures, and he told me later that he fully intended to just stay there and hang out. My mum had thought her phone had a virus, so she didn't do anything. I was in my living room sitting next to my husband and sleeping 2-month-old. Saw the alert on my phone. We grabbed the baby and his pacifier and went and sat in the bathroom. I started calling people who work on base to see if they knew anything. My husband was checking Twitter. Saw something about it being fake. Went back out to the living room to check the local news. Saw the alert there. Went back to the bathroom. The sirens started going off and I sat there holding my 2-month-old baby crying, thinking we were going to die and I had no way to protect him. Got the false alarm message and husband took the baby back out to the living room while I cried for a little while longer in the bathroom. So no major impulse decision, just to what the frick do I do and cool. The best option I can think of in this moment is to sit in the fricking bathroom. Edit, I live near Pearl Harbor. I think the sirens I heard were coming from there. Either that or Hickam, my boss lives there and heard them too. I only heard them for about 5 seconds. Also, as for hiding in the bathroom, it is the only room in our house with no windows, although pretty sure where I live it wouldn't have mattered, we would have been dead. Also, my husband and I grew up in the Midwest, so for tornadoes or severe thunderstorms we would always either sit in the basement or bathroom. We don't have a basement here in Hawaii, so the bathroom it was. Also convenient for the nervous shits and all. Went to Onoka how to dive. Figured 100 feet underwater was as good a place as any. No boom. Used NFL content without its express written consent. rolled out of bed and told my boyfriend, well, how about I make us one last cup of coffee before we die, then proceeded to the kitchen to brew a small pot. All I wanted was one last time to do one of my favorite things, sit and talk stories with him with coffee and cigarettes in the morning. Maybe it wasn't so impulsive, but there was something about it being the last time to ever do that. I live in Hawaii. Honestly, I am one of the only ones who didn't freak out. I was in the office working on some data input stuff and I figured that either there's nothing I can do about a freaking nuclear missile exploding right in my face, or we've got some system in place to knock it out of the sky before it even hits. Again, nothing I can do, but I'll live. Either way, nothing will change for me. So I continued working. Unlike my manager, he stripped off his clothes and started jacking off on the CEO's desk right in front of the CEO. As he was on the phone with his wife, I don't know whether the CEO was more shocked by the manager jacking it on his desk or the incoming nuclear missile. Either way, I was almost done with my spreadsheet, so I tried to focus on work. 30 minutes later the news broke out that it was in error. Freaking awkward. The jack-off manager got fired and I got temporarily promoted to his position until they either make it official or find someone more suitable. I hope I never have to repeat this story in real life in any of my future job interviews when they ask me about past work and managerial experience. Edit. After some thought and several requests, I decided to show you guys the termination letter. Here you go. I felt like this alert showed me that I can keep calm and that I'm a bit apathetic towards death. And I'm pretty proud of myself. I had no idea what to do, so I got freaky with my wife while smearing birthday cake all over her body. I had to get a plan B today, but they were all out skeptical. Your wife was okay with spending her final moments being slathered in cake? You got lucky, friend. My uncle and his family live in Hawaii. He's been cheating on his wife for 2 years. We all found out about it in a mass text he sent 5 minutes after the emergency text went out. He wanted clear the air before he died. Got up from the breakfast table. My wife and 2 kids were with me. Ran out the door. Awkward coming home later that day. You might want to use the serious tag for this one.